There's something that is true on every side. You have to find that truth. Like, it could be hidden, but there's something there that everyone can believe in. And if we dig down deep enough, there's something that we can agree upon. And we've gotten to a point in our world today where we've masked that. We've lost track of that. And I think that's to our detriment. We've gotten to a point where everything's polarized, and there's a person on the other side who deeply cares about the thing that they care about. And that's not to be disregarded, right? Like, they're a person who wants the best for themselves, for their family, for their future. And we're not going to get anywhere by just saying, like, nothing about them is right, is viable. And there's no way that our world can function if everybody just goes to their corner and, kind of lives over there. I just don't see a way in which that works. So we have to approach this. Like, my view is we have to approach the world from a perspective of generosity.
100%. Now, you mentioned it earlier, Sherian, the leader's impact or influence on the idea of being generous inside of a workplace. In this case, not just workplace, could be organization, could be anybody. What do you think of that? How do leaders sometimes get it wrong, or what can they do positively to influence it positively and put it in as a lot of people, like, they approach that whole generosity, opposing idea of generosity is security, right? So I got to create my own security system by have some intellectual property that I own and nobody else owns. And therefore I created, like you said, fiefdom for myself, and nobody can approach that. But if leaders encourage it in a different way, I'm assuming the giving becomes incentivized.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's the key, is accountability and incentive play a large role in how leaders encourage a culture of generosity in the workplace. So the example that Amira uses is if we start conversations by saying, let's get aligned on this, then it subtly discourages people from speaking up if they are not, if they have something that's outside of the alignment. But if we say something like, let's make sure we hear all of the voices before we get aligned, that allows free expression. How do we think about recognizing the work of everyone on our team, and being generous around our recognition? One of my teachers, Francesca Gino, talks about gratitude of our coworkers, our teammates, as a very important aspect of productivity. She wrote an article about this. And as a leader myself, one of the things that is easy to forget is how important gratitude is, because we think, well, we're paying them, so that's how we're recognizing the work that they're doing. But the actual act of saying thank you and demonstrating that gratitude actually has a really significant impact on productivity. And it's a very simple thing to do, but we tend to forget it. So that's a very simple thing, but there's lots of other ways that we can be generous in the ways in which we show up as a leader.